Yes, so Uncle Jamal was in charge for the teens, and he let the teens perform an absolute sex speech contest. Well, how's that sound to you guys? I mean, this is so new. I know when I grew up as a teenager, going to workshops, we never did a contest on absolute sex. I mean, really, and been graded or scored or, this is a great way to really motivate young people to learn about this really intensely and very deeply, right? So we did the contest, and I know a lot of us who are the judges were just like really happy for them to talk about this, especially Uncle Jamal. Uncle Jamal went berserk. He 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 shared he almost cried 3 times. He had to hold it in. It meant so much. So actually, everyone give Uncle Jamal a grand hand for what he was able to do with the kids. It's all father. It's all father. So I would like to invite up. I'm honored to invite up the winner of the Absolute Sex Contest to give his 3-minute speech here, right now, to all of you, Alexis Pasantes. Alexis, you here? Oh, here we go. Yes, come over here. Come over here. All right, here you go, man.
Okay. And I would like to thank Uncle Jamal and Gideon for teaching us so well about absolute sex so we can really arm ourselves with that sword of voice so we could have that verbal sovereignty whenever we need it. And so here I go. If you think about it, sex is everything. Without sex, there will be no life. Without sex, all the great men and women who have lived throughout civilization to bring us to where we are today would have never existed. Without sex, the great saints from the Bible would have never worked to make it possible so that Christ can return again. This is why absolute sex is a sacred command from Father. True Father stated that with the power of absolute sex, you can rebuke Satan. This is why blessed children have the power to rebuke Satan, only have the power. And since they only have that power, they are free to call Satan a thief, a liar, who had stolen the greatest love that he ever had. All his wishes for Adam and Eve. But how shall we do this? This is where sovereignty comes into play. Sovereignty is the connection to your lineage, to your property, and your personhood. Sovereignty is like armor. The boots of property, the belt of lineage, and the breastplate of personhood. This armor is under constant attack by Satan. This is what caused Eve to fall. The serpent kept tempting Eve, kept denting her armor until it broke. And because of that, we share her same sin. An example of this is your body. Your body is the temple of God. It must function in order to have a sound spirit to fight. If you don't take care of your body, it would just get fat. And if you're fat, you can't function well. And if you're in a situation where you have to save your life, such as you're in the woods just hiking and a black bear pops out of nowhere, you can't run fast enough. And you're not going to live long enough to survive. The same thing goes with your spirit. Your spirit must remain connected to God, or else it's just eventually that car will go off the cliff and you will not last long without that connection, without that giver of life. And the blessing and the purpose of all this is the blessing. This is what Father had fought so hard for us to have. And all this, if we can understand lineage, our armor of sovereignty, in order to take care of our body and spirit. This is why we continue the tradition of absolute sex, to pass on the seed of Christ forever and ever. Thank you.
All right, young man. Good job. Good job. Let's give it up for. What's his name again? Alexis. Very nice. Very nice. And they had like a limit, time limit, like 3 minutes.